Right now, deep inside your brain, your basal ganglia are mid-freeze, and the movement specialists who discovered this circuit admit they have no way to switch it off. You can't feel it happening. There is no warning signal, but the next time you needed to act and couldn't, that was this. And it is happening right now, even as you sit still. By the end of this, you'll know the one thing that interrupts it. The basal ganglia, your brain's action selector, are supposed to do one thing: choose. Every decision you've made, every time you moved, started a task, picked up a phone, your basal ganglia gave the signal. Green light. Go, but when they freeze, there is no green light. There is only stillness, not calm, paralysis. The difference matters because you have probably mistaken one for the other your entire life. That feeling of staring at something you should start but can't, that is not laziness. That is not anxiety. That is your action selector sending no signal at all. And we're getting to how to break it. Here's what's happening inside you right now. The basal ganglia sit at the center of your brain, running two competing pathways. One is the direct pathway, a biological green light. The other is the indirect pathway, a brake. Most of the time they balance. Green wins, you move. But under sustained stress, the balance tilts. The indirect pathway gets a dopamine surge, the wrong kind, from the wrong source at the wrong ratio. And the green light dims, not permanently. Not dramatically, just enough that you pause when you should start. You draft an email, read the first line 3 times, close it. You decide to exercise, stand up, sit back down. The basal ganglia are locked in a low-level threat loop and the output is nothing. Inaction framed as caution. And here's the part that should trouble you. The longer you don't act, the stronger the break becomes. The freeze feeds itself. The neurologists who map this pathway can show it to you on an fMRI scan. They can light up the exact coordinates where your action selection is stalling. And then, off the record, not in the journal article, they'll tell you they have no direct intervention. No drug targets the basal ganglia's freeze response without also blunting the broader dopamine system. No existing therapy directly releases the indirect pathway's grip. They can treat the downstream effects, the mood, the inability to initiate the behavioral shutdown, but the freeze signal itself, the root of it. They are watching it happen through glass they cannot break. Hold that thought. Because the one thing that actually works is something every expert will tell you to do the opposite of. You've been told to calm down, breathe, meditate, wait it out. And for many situations, that's correct. But for basal ganglia freeze specifically, stillness is not a fix. It is fuel. The indirect pathway, the brake, grows stronger in the absence of movement signals. When you sit with the freeze and breathe through it, you are neurologically confirming the threat. You are telling the action selector that inaction was the right call. Mindfulness has documented benefits. This is not an argument against it, but deploying it at the exact moment your basal ganglia have locked is like pressing the brake harder to stop a skid. The freeze deepens, which is what high performers quietly figured out they had to stop doing. The rule is this: the basal ganglia do not respond to intention, they respond to motion. Specifically, the direct pathway, the green light, reactivates when it detects a novel physical signal. Not a large one, not dramatic, something small and deliberate that you were not doing a moment before. Elite performers across separate fields, surgeons, professional athletes, executives who tracked their own cognitive output, found this independently. Before a high-stakes moment when they felt the freeze building, they introduced one small, specific physical act. A deliberate hand movement, standing from seated, rotating their body in space, not to feel better, because the basal ganglia register physical novelty as evidence that the environment has changed. If the environment has changed, the threat calculation resets. The brake loosens. The green light returns. High performers call this a state shift. Neuroscientists who study the behavior call it motor priming. What matters is the sequence. Feel the freeze, do something small and physical you weren't already doing, then begin the task inside that 3-second window before the basal ganglia recalibrate back. Tonight, when you sit down to work and feel the familiar stall, the task open, the cursor blinking, nothing happening, do not breathe through it. Stand up, take 3 steps, sit back down from a different angle, then immediately begin. Not in 5 minutes. Inside that window, your basal ganglia have registered a change. The brake has released. The green light is live. That is your 3 seconds. But the basal ganglia are not working alone. There is another structure sitting just above them that has been scanning everything you see for signs of threat since you were a child. And the signal it sent today may have already done something to your memory that you won't be able to undo tonight.